Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now we are seeing a bearish signal for Bitcoin while the US dollar currency index is experiencing a major breakout to the upside. This will be important for all Bitcoin holders to pay attention to, so I'll be talking about it in just a moment. But first, let's take a quick look at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart. And obviously, at the time of recording this video, we are still playing out some short-term bearish price action. And for those of you that have been watching my recent Bitcoin updates over the past 2 days, this should not be too surprising for you because we started to see a couple shorter term bearish signals right around here just 2 days ago, and I covered those same short term bearish signals just yesterday on the channel right at this point here. But for anyone that is new to the channel, I've been looking at the trends in the RSI and the MACD on the smaller time frames to potentially help predict these shorter term price movements. And right now the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI is still in a downtrend, meaning that we are technically still bearish on the smaller time frames, and the same thing goes for the 4-hour MACD as well. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we do play out a little bit more bearish price action before bullish price action later on. And now, unfortunately, it doesn't stop there because over on the 12-hour Bitcoin chart, we have only just seen 2 red dots in the parabolic stop and reverse indicator. Now, sometimes we do end up seeing some false signals here and there. So to further confirm a possible bearish trend here on the 12-hour Bitcoin chart, I would be paying attention to the 12-hour price oscillators. So of course, the RSI and the MACD. And at the time of recording this video, the 12-hour Bitcoin RSI is technically still in this uptrend. We haven't formed a new lower low or lower high just yet, but we are definitely getting very close to this previous low in the 12-hour RSI. So we would probably know pretty soon, as in within the next 1 day or so, whether or not we're forming some sort of downtrend in the 12-hour RSI. And the same thing goes for the 12-hour Bitcoin MACD. We are getting much closer to a possible bearish cross, but we haven't confirmed a bearish cross in the 12-hour MACD just yet. Now, if we do end up seeing both of those signals, so I'm talking about a downtrend in the 12-hour RSI and a bearish cross in the 12-hour MACD, then obviously that would be bearish for the Bitcoin price. And just as an example, the last time that we had all 3 of these indicators pointing in the bearish direction was back here in the middle of February, which basically signaled a short-term downtrend in the Bitcoin price that lasted for around 2 weeks approximately. So right now, this is a risk that we need to be paying attention to. And on top of that, here on the daily Bitcoin chart, the fact that Bitcoin could not confirm a break above 45,000 obviously was not a bullish signal. Technically speaking, that is more bearish than it is bullish, but that doesn't mean we could come up later on to retest it again, like what we saw over here, for example. But as I've been saying for a while now on the channel, any bullish price action that we see below 45,000 is only shorter term bullish price action, which means in order for Bitcoin to experience a much larger, longer lasting bullish trend, then the Bitcoin price must break above 45,000 at the very least. Otherwise, for the time being, we are simply trading within this price range in between around 45,000 and the low $30,000 prices. And now taking a look at a very interesting on-chain Bitcoin chart. This chart shows the Bitcoin price as the black line right here, but the purple line is the net unrealized loss. So basically it shows us how much Bitcoin is sitting in a loss from the last time that Bitcoin moved. And so obviously what we normally see as the Bitcoin price is pumping into brand new all-time highs, the net unrealized loss is pretty much 0. But anytime the Bitcoin price plays out some bearish price action, either in a shorter term correction or a much larger move to the downside, this net unrealized loss spikes back to the upside, which essentially means more Bitcoin holders are going into a loss compared to these previous prices. And what is very interesting is just at the July bottom last year, when Bitcoin dumped down towards around 29 to 30,000, on that exact day when the Bitcoin price bottomed out just before we started heading back up again, the net unrealized loss was sitting at just above 16%. And if you're looking at the most recent macro Bitcoin bottom just around 1.5 months ago, after that significant move to the downside, on that exact day, just before the Bitcoin price started to head back up again, the net unrealized loss was sitting at just above 16%. So at both the July low and the January low, the net unrealized loss was very, very similar, almost the exact same level. And so far, at least at the time of recording this video, we have not broken below that January low. And so if we're only using this on-chain Bitcoin data, there could be a high probability that the January low was the bottom for this major correction in the Bitcoin price lasting from November, due to the fact that so far we have not gone below that low. So technically we have turned around from that low after seeing almost the exact same amount of Bitcoin in a loss as what we saw back in July when Bitcoin bottomed out back then. And if you're looking at the percentage of Bitcoin short positions on the Binance exchange and the Bybit exchange, right now they are sitting at very similar levels to what we saw back during June all the way to October. But that was for the Binance exchange. Over on Bybit, we are actually at much higher levels in the short positions as what we were back during that same time period. And in case you're new to the channel, anytime the short positions are very high, that is usually a pretty good time to accumulate some Bitcoin. And then anytime the Bitcoin short positions are very low, that is usually a good time to take some profits off the table. But I want to make it clear that this is not talking about the immediate short term. This is talking about these much larger trends in the market. And speaking about much larger trends in the market, over here on the 3-day Bitcoin chart, technically speaking, the 3-day RSI is still trending to the upside. In fact, we just confirmed another higher high. And over in the 3-day MACD, we are still sitting in the green. And once again, for anyone that is new to the channel, the last couple of times that we saw both of these 3-day indicators for Bitcoin flip into the bullish direction was back during July last year. And obviously, you can see the outcome from that bullish signal. And also back in April 2020. And obviously, you can see the outcome from that bullish signal. But as I just said, this is talking about the much larger trends in the markets, and it is not talking about the shorter term day-to-day Bitcoin price action. Now taking a quick look at the US dollar currency index, and right now we are experiencing a major breakout to the upside above significant resistance. And technically speaking, this is not really a good thing for anything that is paired against the US dollar, which means technically speaking, this is a bearish signal for Bitcoin against the US dollar. And obviously this means that that previous bearish divergence has now been completed, and it did technically play out for some amount of time, but that amount of time was much shorter than expected. But anyway, what we are seeing right now is the RSI getting overbought on the daily time frame up to the 2-day time frame. And the last time the RSI got to these sort of levels was right back here, just before a short-term cool-off in the US dollar currency index, and also just last year, right before another cool-off in the US dollar currency index. So this would definitely be one to pay attention to, because eventually when the US dollar currency index reverses again, which will come at some point in time, then that will help assist the Bitcoin price in a possible recovery, but we are not seeing that right now at least. And now giving you a quick update on the US stock market, which today, at least so far, is a red day. But here on this daily S&P 500 chart, we still have this bullish divergence. And at the time of recording this video, we are running into an important level of support at around 4,290. And the next important level of support below that level is coming in at around 4,220. And we have a somewhat similar thing over in the NASDAQ 100 index on the same daily time frame, which is basically that same bullish divergence, but we are still yet to confirm another daily uptrend actually form in both the price action and the daily RSI, because we are yet to form any sort of higher high on the chart. So definitely keep that in mind moving forward, because once again, we have not broken the downtrend just yet. Anyway, if you found this video useful or simply enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. And if you want to know how to make more money in the crypto market, whether or not prices are going up or down, these two videos popping up right here are definitely for you. But anyway, that is it for this update. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.